Mercedes has used its GLC mid-sized SUV as a base for this sportier, more stylish GLC Coupe variant. It's better to drive as well as being sportier to look at, and the practical compromises necessitated by the sleeker shape are relatively modest. Providing you can afford the asking prices, you'll find that the sensible stuff adds up too. Mercedes has made a few dynamic changes in order for this GLC Coupe model to feel a little sportier than its conventional counterpart. So there's a standard sports suspension setup that's been retuned for this variant. Plus, this coupe body style gets a lower ride height and a wider track, along with a retuned steering rack. It certainly all makes a difference, though not quite enough of one for this Mercedes to quite be able to match the agility of rivals like BMW's X4 and Porsche's Macan. Spend a little extra on the optional air body control air suspension system though, and this GLC gets closer to the dynamic class standard, while at the same time being able to offer a ride comfort that's significantly nicer than anything competitors can offer. Air body control operates via the various modes of a system that Mercedes calls Dynamic Select, one of those setups that allows you to alter steering feel, gear change timings and throttle response at the press of a button. You'll need to get familiar with this in order to get the most from the performance provided by the range of engines available. Most buyers will opt for one of the four-cylinder diesels, either the base 170 brake horsepower 220D or the 204 brake horsepower 250D variant we're trying here. Both units are pretty efficient, managing 56.5 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle and as much as 131 grams per kilometre of CO2. There's also a 258 brake horsepower six-cylinder 350D diesel, or at the top of the range, a petrol-powered option, the 258 brake horsepower Mercedes-AMG GLC Coupe 43 model. As standard, all derivatives get 4MATIC four-wheel drive and an efficient 9G-tronic plus 9-speed automatic gearbox. At the wheel, you sit a little lower than you would in an ordinary GLC, but otherwise, as you might expect, the cabin layout is shared almost identically with that car, which means it's very nice indeed. Take a look around once you're comfortably seated on the supportive Artico leather trimmed seats, and the two staples of current Mercedes cabin style are present and correct. There are 5 round silver-trimmed air vents, and above the 3 in the centre sits a prominent iPad-styled infotainment screen. It's freestanding positioning, smacking either of afterthought or inspired design, depending on your point of view. Anything the infotainment display can't tell you will be covered off by the smaller colour screen that nestles between the 2 deeply cowled dials offered by the instrument binnacle. Time to take a seat in the back. That falling roofline makes it necessary to duck a little as you get in. But once you're inside, it's far more spacious than anything branded as a coupe would normally be. Yes, 6-footers will find their heads brushing the roof, but they'll be far better off in this regard than they would be in Mercedes' supposedly larger GLE coupe. Let's finish by taking a look at luggage space, accessed via the standard electrically operated tailgate. It's one of those that can be optionally activated by a wave of your foot beneath the bumper if you approach the car laden down with baggage. Now, Mercedes obviously benchmarked BMW's X4 here, for the capacities on offer match those of the Munich model exactly. Specifically, you're talking 500 litres here, which is only 50 litres less than a conventional GLC model can offer. In summary, what we've got here is a very complete contender. Nobody actually needs an SUV coupe of this kind, but then nobody actually needs a more conventionally styled fashionable SUV either. There are plenty of four-wheel drive estates that would do the job just as well. Typical buyers, though, take the SUV route because it makes a little more of a driveway statement, which means that typical buyers with the necessary budget are probably going to like this car very much indeed.